All right, so in this lecture, we are going to look at the blood and body fluid and immunity, everything that has to do with blood and body fluid and the immunity. Now, I know most of you must have actually read it before. I just want to give you an idea of how you should answer the question in the exam. All right. So, the first question we have here says you should state the compartment or list the compartment of body fluid. List the compartment of the body fluid. All right. So, the compartment of the body fluid. Now, you are going to write the when you talk about body fluid, you are talking about generally body water. Are you getting it? Which is TBW. So you can start by saying that the total body water in an average adult male constitutes about 60% of the body weight, which is about 42 liters for a 70 kg person. What this one is trying to tell you is that the total body water in an average adult male constitutes about 60% of the body weight. What we are trying to say is that remove all the water from anybody, right? Remove all the water, anything that has to do with water, fluid, blood, remove it from the human body. It will give us 60% of the person's original weight. Is that okay? So it means the other 40% is solid, while about 60% is fluid, water. All right. Now, this percentage is influenced by factors such as age, the sex, and body fat. It is lower in females and in elderly due to their higher adipose tissue. Female and elderly people, they have more fatty tissues in their body. So their total body water that does what? Decreases. Are you getting it? Now, total body water is divided into two main compartments, which are further subdivided. Is that okay? So when they say list the compartments of the body fluid, there are two compartments you are going to write. The two compartments, we have the intracellular compartment, but all these ones, they are just things you can use to just garnish your work. Does not necessarily mean you should write it, because the question says list. Are you getting it? There are two compartments. The two compartments are the intracellular compartment, and then we have the extracellular compartment. The question says list, not what. Are you getting it now? You can just write intracellular compartment inside of the cell. You know we have the cell. The compartment inside of the cell, or what is present inside of the cell, is called the intracellular compartment. Are you getting it now? And the largest compartment, the intracellular compartment, is the one that have the largest volume. All right, making up approximately 2/3 of the total body weight. Is that okay? Now we say total body weight is about 42 liters, right? 42 liters. 2/3 of 42 liters will be 2 divided by what? 3. Are you getting it? This go into here, this will give us 1. Go into here, this will give us 4. 4 times 2 will give us what? 28 liters. So it means the intracellular, the water or the fluid that are found inside of all cells in our body for a 70 kg person, please, it is in reference to a particular weight. So when you are saying 28 liters, is it in an 80 kg person? We are using the reference, which is 70 kg average weight. In a 70 kg adult, the total body water is about 28 liters. So the intracellular fluid, ICF, is the largest fluid compartment in the human body, and it is 2/3 of the total body weight, or total body water rather, which is about 28 liters. Total body water, we say, is approximately 42 liters for a 70 kg person. Just put it at the back of your mind. Total body water is about 42 liters for a 70 kg person. This water is, this fluid is divided into two. We have the intracellular fluid compartment and the extracellular fluid compartment. Intracellular fluid compartment inside of the cell, the total body water for that is about 28 liters, which is 2/3 of the total body water. Now, what are the key constituents of the intracellular fluid? You can see right the constituents. Inside of the cell, we say we have potassium ion inside of the cell, and then magnesium ion. These are the cations. Then anions like proteins and organic phosphates are inside of the cell. Are you getting it? You know, we said potassium. If you attended that lecture on action potential, I told you that potassium is more inside of the cell than what? Outside of the cell. Then also phosphate, ATP, phosphate ion is more inside of the cell than the what? Outside of the cell. So these are the composition of the intracellular fluid compartment inside of the cell. Are you getting it? The fluid, the cytoplasmic fluid, or fluid the cytosol or fluid inside of the cell is what makes the intracellular fluid compartment. Then we have the extracellular fluid compartment. All the fluid outside of the cell is what makes up the extracellular fluid compartment. Is that okay? And it makes up, if the intracellular makes up 2/3, extracellular will make up what? 1/3 of the total body weight. This one is total is 42 minus 28 for intracellular. What will be left is what? 14 liters. In a 70 kg person, it must be referenced to a particular weight. Is that okay? Now, what are the major cation found in the ECF? I've taught you that in class. I told you that the major cation found there is the sodium ion, while the major anion found in the ECF outside of the cell is sodium. Sodium is more outside than inside. That is the reason why sodium will flow inside with diffusion, right? We learned that simple diffusion, sodium will flow inside. While sodium is flowing outside, we say that one is what? Active transport, because it's flowing against its concentration gradient. Then the anions you have there, you have the chloride ion, and of course, my dear student, the bicarbonate ion. Now, this ECF is divided into some other sub classification. We have the interstitial fluid and lymph. This is the fluid that bathes the cells in tissues. What we are trying to say is, between each cell, there are fluid that surround them. Are you getting it? It's outside of the cell. It's outside of the cell. If this is a cell, this one here is a cell. Cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, cell 4. In between each of the cells are actually surrounded by a fluid which is called interstitial, in between cells, interstitial fluid, and then lymph. This is the fluid that bathes the cells in tissue. It is the largest subcompartment of the ECF. About 75% of the ECF is interstitial fluid. So out of these 14 liters, about 10.5 liter is interstitial. So the interstitial fluid is a subcomponent of the ECF. So when they say list the components of body fluid: intracellular fluid compartment, extracellular fluid compartment. Extracellular fluid compartment, we can talk about little about the composition: 1/3 of total body water, intra 2/3 of total body water. Then the subclassification of the ECF, we have the interstitial fluid, which makes up about 10.5 liter or 75% of the ECF. Then we have the plasma. The plasma is the non-cellular fluid component of blood. The blood is made up of plasma. Are you getting it now? And this plasma is also outside of the cell. Plasma and ICF are separated by, and the interstitial fluid are separated by capillary. Now, these are cells. This is a blood vessel. Are you getting it? This is the blood. This blood are situated in the blood vessel, which are capillaries. Are you getting it now? These are fluid. These are the blood vessels. Are you getting it now? These are cells rather. There is a fluid here which we call interstitial fluid compartment. Inside of the blood vessel, there is blood which contains plasma. Now you now see that the plasma is separated from the interstitial fluid by this blood vessel. And this blood vessel is the capillary wall. Capillary wall is a blood vessel, right? Capillary is a blood vessel that carries blood. All right. So that one is part of the ECF also. So we said component of the ECF: interstitial fluid, plasma, and then we have transcellular fluid, a small but important compartment which consists of fluid secreted by epithelial cells. The fluid secreted by epithelial cells, and this includes cerebrospinal fluid. Are you getting it? Synovial fluid in joints. All these fluid that are secreted by these cells that help to cushion or prevent friction in places like the spine, the cerebrospinal, in places like joints, synovial fluid, then pleural and pericardial and peritoneal fluid in what? In the serous membrane that actually rounds the lungs. Are you getting it now? Then aqueous and vitreous humor of the eye. Are you getting all these one? They prevent friction. Then bile and digestive secretion all are under transcellular fluid. Are you getting it now? The blood volume is the sum of plasma, blood volume, sum of plasma and cellular component like red blood cells, and it's approximately 5 liter. We'll talk about this one later. All right, what we are trying to tell you that blood is basically divided into two. We have the formed element of the blood, and then we have the plasma. We have the formed element. All right, formed element of the blood, my dear student, and then we have the blood plasma. That's what we are just trying to tell you. Now the plasma is about 3 liter, while the formed element like the red blood cell, white blood cells, and so on, platelets, they form about 2 liter. So when they say you should um write on list the compartment of the bloody fluid, first you can give a little just brief write-up. You don't need to write much of anything that you see on this screen. Then you can say the intracellular fluid compartment is divided into two. The the total body water is divided into two main compartments, which are intracellular fluid and what? Extracellular fluid. The extracellular fluid are further classified into interstitial fluid and lymph, plasma, and then transcellular fluid. Transcellular fluid is further classified into cerebrospinal fluid, synovial fluid, pleural, pericardial, and peritoneal fluid, aqueous and vitreous humor of the eye, by digestive enzyme. You are done with that question. You don't need to write much because it say list. There's a difference between when you say list. Now you should at least give the composition of each of these parts. Like all this total body water is your note, about 28 liters in a 70 kg person. You should give that. All right. Then about 1/3 for extracellular of total body water, which is about 14 liters in a 70 kg person. You should be able to do that. All right. Now, the next one is write on the significance of body fluid. One, homeostatic regulation. Body fluid actually regulate the internal environment of the humans that is responsible for cellular function. Their stable volume, composition, and temperature are prerequisite for optimal enzyme activity and metabolism, allowing the body to maintain a constant equilibrium despite external changes. Now, if some electrolyte in your body, let's say your body water, you are dehydrated, electrolyte, you lost maybe through vomiting or MSs is vomiting, you lost a lot of body fluids. Are you getting it? And some of these electrolytes are not there, like potassium ion, calcium ion, which are required for various cellular functions in the body. At the end of the day, you start having serious problem. Are you getting it? That is why most time when people get to the hospital, first of all, maybe they are having diarrhea and they've put, they've lost a lot of electrolyte. They'll first of all give you drip that will restore your body fluid, your electrolytes. Are you getting it now? Because they are very, very important for the normal functioning of the body, which is homeostatic regulation. Transport medium. Plasma transport oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and waste products to and from cells. That is the use of body fluid. Just remember blood. Some of the uses of blood is a transport medium. Electrolyte balance and excitability. I've talked about this before. Are you getting it? Excitability. We talked about the importance of sodium ion and potassium ion and calcium ion in excitation, right? Exactly. So you should know this. Then osmotic and fluid balance. Solute like sodium and plasma protein generate osmotic forces that control water movement between compartments. This balance, particularly oncotic pressure from protein, prevent body fluid from leaking out of blood vessel and causing tissue swelling. All right. Then acid-base balance. Body fluid contain powerful buffer system like the bicarbonate buffer system that actually what does what? Resist a change in pH. Is that okay? That resist a change in pH. So body fluid help in acid-base balance. The question says you should do what? Write note on the significance of body fluid. So you can write all these notes. If you want to copy it, you can copy it by the side, memorize it, just be looking at it, which will help you to write your exam in this particular aspect. Now, the next question here says, write on the component of blood. Now, what is blood? Blood is a specialized bodily fluid. It's a specialized connective tissue. It's a fluid, the only fluid connective tissue we have. It's a specialized connective tissue that constitutes about 7 to 8% of a person's body weight. Are you hearing it? It's composed of two main parts. We have the plasma, which is the liquid matrix, which makes up about 55% of total blood volume. We said blood volume is about 5 liters for a 70 kg person, where we learned in CVS, right? Now, this, what is it called? Out of this 5 liter, we said about 3 liter is plasma, 2 liter is for the formed element of blood. So write on the component of blood. What are the formed elements of blood? Formed elements of blood are the red blood cells, white blood cells, and so on and so forth. Are you getting it now? The formed element, they make up 45% of total blood volume, of total what might just the blood volume. The plasma. The plasma is the straw-colored liquid component of the blood. If you centrifuge your blood, all right, what you have left, you see this thing down, the formed elements like red blood cell and so on. Then the plasma, that clear yellowish liquid you have on top is the plasma. Are you getting it? It is about 92% of water. Plasma majorly made up of water and only about 8% dissolved solute. And these include some of the dissolved solute you will find in this plasma are proteins. You don't need to bother about their percentages. Just know that plasma contains 92% water and it contains more of water than solute. Are you getting it? Example is protein, albumin, proteins that you will actually see there. Are you getting it? Are albumin, globulin, fibrinogen, then regulatory proteins such as enzymes, hormone, and other solute. You find them in the plasma. Are you getting it? So when they ask you, write on the blood, the composition or the component of blood. You've talked about plasma, that straw color liquid component of a blood. It's about 92% water and 8% solute. The solutes are proteins. Examples of proteins you see there is albumin, globulin, fibrinogen, then regulatory proteins such as enzymes and hormones. All those ones you find them in the blood. Then other solutes like electrolytes, sodium ion, all right, you find them in the plasma. Sodium ion, potassium ion, calcium ion, bicarbonate ion, all these you find them in the plasma. Nutrients like glucose, amino acid, fatty acid, vitamins are all in the plasma. Waste product like urea, uric acid, creatinine, carbon dioxide, you find them in the plasma. Respiratory gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen, you find them in the plasma. Hormones, we've talked about them. Regulatory proteins like hormones, chemical messenger traveling to target organs, you find them in the plasma. Then clotting factors, you find them also in the what? In the plasma. Clotting factor, mainly fibrinogen, which we have talked about. You find them where? In the plasma. Now, formed elements. These are the cellular components suspended in the plasma. Now, the blood, if you get your blood, before they do any test, most time, they will centrifuge the blood. You will see this thing down, and then you see a clear liquid on top. Those ones down, they are the formed elements. They are suspended in the plasma, and they are produced through the process of hematopoiesis in the bone marrow. These are the formed elements. The formed elements you have, of course, your erythrocyte, your leukocytes, and lastly, your thrombocyte, which is the platelet responsible for clotting. All right. Of course, everybody know erythrocytes are what? Red blood cells. They are small biconcave, anucleated. That means they don't have nucleus. Red blood cells do not have nucleus. This shape minimize surface area for gaseous etching. What is the primary function of the red blood cell? You cannot be a CHS student and you don't know function of red blood cell or erythrocyte. To transform oxygen from the lungs to the body tissue and return carbon dioxide from tissues to lungs. Is that okay? That is the function of erythrocyte. Now, the lifespan of erythrocyte is about 120 days. After 120 days, it's expected that it undergoes what we call programmed cell death, which we call apoptosis, and then new blood cells or red blood cells will be generated. So the total lifespan of red blood cells is about 120 days. After 120 days, it dies. Are you getting it? That is that. So another formed element of the blood is leukocyte. Please take note on all these one. Take note of this. Another formed element is leukocyte, which we also call white blood cell. The nucleocytes, they are the army in the body. They are the key cells of immune system. All right? They have nucleus, so we say they are nucleated and can be divided into two main groups. The leukocyte, they are the immune cells of the body, the key cells of the immune system, the army of the body that fight against harmful invaders. All right? They are divided into two main types. We have the granulocyte, the ones that looks like a granule, and then we have the what, my dear student, are granulocyte. We have the what? Granulocyte, and then we have agranulocyte. Granulocytes have visible granules in their cytoplasm, like something like this. Are you getting it now? Now, there's a mnemonic we usually use to remember this, what is it called? White blood cells. Is the mnemonic is never let monkey eat bananas. Never let monkeys eat bananas. Never means what? Neutrophil. Let means what? Lymphocyte. M means what? Monocyte. E means eosinophiles. And B means what? Basophils. Are you getting it now? Never let monkeys eat banana. Now, out of this never let monkey eat banana, the first one and the last two are granulocytes. The first and the last two are granulocytes. So neutrophil, eosinophils, and basophils are granulocytes. They have visible granules on their cytoplasm. And they are the most abundant white blood cell. Remember, never let monkey eat banana. Neutrophils, right? Lymphocytes, monocytes, eosinophils, basophils. Are you getting it? All the fields, the one that has fields are the granulocyte, while the ones that end with sites are the agranulocyte. Is that okay? All the fields granulocyte, all the sites are non-granulocyte. All right? So, or agranulocyte. Neutrophils, the most abundant white blood cells, they are the first responder to site of infection. They are phago. All these one are story. Most important, you just know them. The granulocytes, neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils. Are you getting it now? Then we have agranulocytes. I told you that they are the one that end with sites. Lymphocytes. And they are the key cells for specific or adaptive immunity. We are coming to that. The B cells of the lymphocyte produce antibodies, while the T cells directly attack infected or cancerous cells and help regulate immune system. And then we have the natural killer cells. This one they form under lymphocyte, but you will do it under immunity. Then monocytes, the largest white blood cells, they circulate in blood for 1 to 3 days before migrating into tissue, where they mature into macrophages. So monocytes are the ones that mature into macrophages. They are the most powerful phagocytic cells that engulf pathogens and dead cells. Is that okay? The monocytes, they are the ones that are responsible for killing, engulf, kill. Are you getting it now? So the last one is thrombocytes, last component of the formed element, thrombocyte, which are platelets. They are not true cells. They are irregularly shaped cells, fragments derived from the megakaryocyte in the bone marrows. Are you getting it? But the most important thing I want you to know is the components of blood. They are divided into two. We have the formed elements, or first, the plasma, which is about 3 liters, and then we have the formed elements, The formed elements, we have the erythrocyte, red blood cells, we have the leukocytes, white blood cells. The nucleocytes are further divided into two: granulocytes, and under granulocytes we have the fields, neutrophils, basophils, eosinophils. Then we have the agranulocytes. All right, under the agranulocyte, that is why you have monocytes and lymphocytes. Are you getting it? Under lymphocyte you have B lymphocyte that produce antibodies, and T lymphocyte that directly attach, and then natural killer cells. So when they say component of blood, please remember all this. Is that okay? Then the last component of the formed element is the thrombocyte, which platelet responsible for what? Blood clotting. So that is that. The primary function of the platelet, we said, is essential for homeostasis. They stop bleeding. Are you getting it? So this is like a summary of everything. Component of the blood: plasma 55%, transport medium, clotting, and immunity. Contains 92% water, 8% proteins and solutes. The formed element, they are about 45%. This one is 3 liter, this one is about 2 liter. We have the erythrocyte, which transport oxygen and carbon dioxide. They contain hemoglobin and do not have nucleus, so you say they are anucleated. Leukocytes, they are the body immune defense, divided into two. We have the granulocyte and the agranulocyte. Short form of it: never let monkeys eat bananas. All right, that is the short form of it. Never let monkey eat bananas. Like I was saying, plasma, seems that side will be cut off after editing. Plasma 3 liter, 92% body weight, 8%, 92% water, 8% solute and proteins. Formed elements about 2 liter, which is 45%. Erythrocyte 44%, which transport oxygen and carbon dioxide. They don't have nucleus, so you say they are anucleated. Leukocyte, white blood cell, the body defense system. Never let monkeys eat bananas. Neutrophil, lymphocyte, monocyte, eosinophils, basophils. Divided into two main types: granulocyte, agranulocyte. Granulocyte are all the fields. All the fields are granulocyte. Why these two are agranulocyte, right? Exactly. So this is the summary of everything you need to know under blood and body fluid. Thank